Good morning, everyone. I would like to take a roll call before we start. James T,
Yeah,
Imran Shah,
Present.
Amrit Kaur,
Here.
Atika Ramli.
Here.
All right. The objective of today's meeting is to make a decision on whether or not to build a new oil processing plant in Kerteh. I'm afraid that Mr. Shan can't be with us today. He is still away on a business trip in Singapore. Before I go any further, I would like to go through the minutes of our last meeting. Are there additions or corrections to the minutes?
I think everything is fine.
Thank you, James. Is there anything else?
No.
Now that we have made no corrections to the minutes, can someone approve the minutes?
I would like to approve the minutes.
Could someone else second the motion?
I second that.
The minutes are approved as no correction has been made. Imran, can you tell us about the problems that recently appeared in our Macau's project?
Sure, as you all know, last week our project in Macau unfortunately faced some problem.
Thank you, Imran. Let's continue with the agenda. Have you all received a copy of the agenda? Okay, good. There are 4 items on the agenda. The first item is we will hear a report from Atika Ramli. The second item is report from Imran Shah. And next, we will decide whether or not to build a new oil processing plant in Kerteh. And finally, we will discuss about any other business. James, would you mind taking the minutes?
All right.
Okay, next, we will hear a short report on item 1 from the representative head of department. Atika, could you please start?
Yes, thank you, Marcus. I will be presenting the analysis on our current cash flow. From the analysis, I believe that we are able to sustain the expenses needed for the new plant in the next 3 years if we intended to build the oil processing plant.
Thank you, Atika, for the informative report. Imran, can you continue with your report?
I don't mind at all, Marcus. My report is about the price of the land in Kerteh for a processing plant. Through my finding, the price of land and properties in Kerteh are low for now.
Thank you, Imran. Now that we have discussed item 1 and 2, let us move on to item number 3, which is making a decision on whether or not to build a new oil processing plant. What do you all think?
Okay, personally, I feel that we should not build the plant this year because the economy is not doing so well, and our company is also affected by COVID-19 pandemic. So I believe we should wait until next year before we build a new plant.
I couldn't agree with you more, James. Furthermore, the market for oil is rather volatile right now. I'm afraid that we might face any issues within the 3 years.
I'm afraid I have to disagree with both of you. I believe that this is the right time to build the new plant as the price of land and properties are low, so we should grab this opportunity.
I think I agree with Imran Shah that this is the right time to build the new plant.
Thank you all for your feedback. Now, I would like to propose an idea before we make a decision on whether or not to build a new oil processing plant in Kerteh, as we have equal vote of agree and disagree. I will bring the result of this discussion to the HQ meeting in the next board meeting for further view.
All right, Marcus.
I believe at this point of time, we are unable to make a decision whether or not to build a new oil processing plant in Kerteh. Do you all agree?
Yes, in my opinion, we will only be able to make an informed decision in the next meeting after we get advice from the HQ.
I have no objection to that.
I second that.
What are your thoughts, Atika?
I agree with the rest.
Since there are no objections, let us agree to wait for the result from the HQ on this matter in the next meeting. I suggest that we hear advices from the HQ before we make final decision on the next meeting. This will ensure that next meeting we can conclude our decision. Now that we have concluded item 4, let us proceed to the last item, which is any other business.
I think there is no more to be discussed.
Okay, so since there is nothing else, let's wrap up then. Before we leave, can we set the date for the next meeting on the 25th of March, right after the meeting with HQ?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm afraid on the 25th of March.
Thank you all for attending this meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.